Welcome back, listeners, to the Transform Yourself podcast. I am Kacy, and Tyler is with me, and we host the Transform Yourself podcast, which is all about how you can become a better version of yourself, mind and body. And it's been a while since we've made a podcast. I know we took quite the break.
3 months, 4 months, something like that.
About a 3-month break. I think October, November, and December. We needed the break. First of all, I apologize that we took a break and didn't tell you we were taking a break. I don't think we knew we were taking a break until it happened. And then we realized how freeing and nice it was to have some time back. And then now we feel refreshed and we're back and
ready to dive in.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess ready to dive back into all things transform yourself. If you're new, this is all about the 4 M's of fitness: mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building, and how those 4 M's can create a better you. And so here we are. Just to fill you in, we went to Spain in October with our kids. It was an amazing vacation trip. And I will say one thing, though. I purposely, when I go and book an Airbnb, I think my husband and any of my best friends know this about me. They know how thorough I am about making sure, like, I look at maps, I look at what's around there.
It's a little obsessive.
It's super obsessive the way I am when I plan a vacation.
Yeah.
And I booked this Airbnb that was amazing on the beach, perfect location, beautiful house. And it was walking distance from this amazing coffee shop. And I was so excited that I would be able to get up every morning and walk to go get my
croissant,
my croissant and my cafe latte. Yeah. And it was dreamy. Like that was like, the luxury to me. Right. And we get there and the coffee shop closed.
Like the day before.
Like the day before we got there, the coffee shop was closed, y'all. Yeah, it closed for the season.
Yeah, it was.
We went to Mallorca, by the way.
Okay, good. Yeah, I would say before all of the prep for that trip, never heard of it. Never heard of this place. Didn't care. But it was the coolest little beach island community in Europe. It was in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
And it was so easy to get around. Everything was in English. Because it's such a tourist spot for Europe, and it's a 45-minute flight from London and from like all the major European hubs that everyone goes there. So everything is in every language.
Yes.
So you don't like. I spent all this like an idiot all this time on Duolingo. I'm going to learn Spanish. I haven't studied it in 20 years, but I'm going to teach myself Spanish.
He did at night. He would look in his phone at Duolingo and try to learn Spanish. And I'm like, okay, have fun at that. Cause I'm not doing that.
Totally unnecessary. It was a waste of time.
But it was beautiful. I mean, the beaches were amazing. And not only that, but like you're on a beach and then there's this beautiful mountain right there.
Yeah.
It was kind of the best of everything. So even though I didn't have this amazing breakfast and coffee shop near me, we made do, and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was
10 out of 10. I would definitely go back.
Yes. Beautiful trip. And then, so that was October. November, I went to this amazing fitness convention, if you will, in Arizona. And that was just a me solo trip. I got to hang out with my business coach, Vince Del Monte. So shout out to him. And if you're looking for a business coach, he's amazing. He does niche down to the fitness industry. So I got to hang out with a whole bunch of, I guess, what you call fitness influencers. And it was amazing. And it was so much fun. And everybody was so down to earth. Go ahead.
How many ring lights were at the convention of fitness influencers? Were there more ring lights than there are people?
No, but there was a professional camera crew there that was filming everything. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And I did something new. I went to, and it was on the agenda, we went to a Wim Hof experience in Arizona. We were in Scottsdale.
Well, explain who Wim Hof is.
Wim Hof, I feel like you can explain Wim Hof better than I can explain Wim Hof. He's kind of a...
He's from Iceland, I think. Iceland or Greenland. It's from Northern Europe. Let's just go with that. And he is, I would say he's the guy who kind of started the whole like cold plunge phenomenon for the past 5 years. because he's like a big advocate of cold plunges and saunas. Obviously, in Northern Europe, that's where that comes from.
Correct.
And I think there's more to it that I don't know, like with the breathing techniques and stuff like that to calm your nervous system down.
Yes, he has a breathing technique that we all participated in, and it was amazing. It was fantastic. I was able to, during the breathing technique, I was able to hold my breath for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people. If you had asked me that if I could hold my breath for 2 minutes, I would have told you no.
I would have bet
No way.
$100 that you couldn't have held your breath for 1 minute.
Right?
Like,
but I was able to
could.
hold my breath for 2 minutes during this experience because of the technique he teaches you with breathing. And I'm a believer now. I love it. I can't wait to go experience this again and take you with me. And it was awesome. And I'm super, super happy I did it. And the cold plunge, can you just go ahead and tell everybody how much I hate cold water? Go ahead.
Okay, so it was like 2 years ago, and I guess maybe at the peak or the beginning of like the whole cold plunge craze that's kind of been going on.
Right.
And I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a cold plunge. Not going to do it. So I just was like, let's see what this is all about. So I just bought like a bag of ice from the grocery store, and we put it in our big garden tub. And I think the water got down to like 60 degrees, which is not, I mean, it's cold.
Nothing.
That's cold, but that's not ice plunge cold. Cold plunges are like literally in the
30s.
It's near freezing, or
Yes.
they're below freezing because they keep the water circulating. And I remember when I did that, it was very hard for me to force myself to do it. And you were just like, F that, peace out.
Yeah, no, I think I tried it, and I think I might have lasted 30 seconds, and I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this ever again. This is hard. But in Arizona, of course, I'm there with all the other fitness influencers, and my business coach is like, we're all going to go do a Wim Hof experience, and then we're going to do a cold plunge together. And this cold plunge was not just cold water, y'all. It was an ice bath, like literally gallons of ice and water. And here's the funny thing though. So the Wim Hof instructor beforehand kind of explained to us, you can get into an ice bath 2 different ways. You can get in completely tensed up and worried about it, and your whole body just completely tenses up and get in real slowly, or
Just go.
You can release yourself to the ice. And that's the words he used. He said, you have to release yourself to the ice. You have to release everything out of your brain, release everything. And I thought, I bet he's right. And even though I didn't want to do it, I did it. But I do things like that because I like to do things that are outside of my comfort zone, because it shows me, it almost proves to me that I can do hard things, right?
See, I think that's what's actually more important about the cold plunge, the whole exercise of it, is there's health benefits, but those are like kind of not totally understood, maybe not totally agreed upon.
Right.
But the fact that you're going to force yourself to do something that's going to suck. Think about like if you did that every morning, that's probably the damn hardest thing you're going to do all day.
I can't remember how long we stayed in it. I think it was either 2 minutes or 3 minutes. In fact, I can go watch the video and find out. I don't remember, but it was a timed event. You get in the ice bath and they start the timer, and he talked to us about how, the breathing technique to take place, and how if you are going to get in the ice bath, you need to get in up to your neck, like all the way up to your chin. So don't just release yourself up to your, chest, get all the way in, completely release yourself to it.
Was it still water or was it moving water?
It was still water. And it was hard, but I did it. And I was so refreshed and so excited and so proud of myself after I did. I've got video of it. I need to put that on Instagram. But it was an amazing experience. Do I want to do it all the time? No, I don't. I still am not a huge fan of cold water, but I'm proud of myself because it was something hard. It was outside of my comfort zone, and I still stepped up to the plate and did it.
Yeah.
And that is why I do things such as an ice bath. And I couldn't be the one to say no, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be the one wiener in the group that's like, oh, I don't want to do it. I came all the way here, and I'm not. You don't want to be that person,
right?
So good for you for bucking up and doing
it. Thank you, Tyler. So now here we are, January. I feel super refreshed after having taken a break from podcasting. January, I've started my Transform Yourself course, which is a group of a little over 300 ladies that I'm group coaching right now. I'm doing my first corporate engagement speaking engagement next week, which I'm super excited about. And I was nominated as Woman of Impact for the American Heart Association, of which I am going to start fundraising February 7th. So that's kind of like a little catch up on what's been going on. I want to start a little bit of, if you're new here, you're new to this podcast and you're like, what is all this about Spain and Arizona and all this? Let me just give you a little roundabout introduction of myself. I am the self-proclaimed calorie deficit queen. And it started where I wrote cookbooks. I wrote like low-calorie cookbooks. And why? Why did I write low-calorie cookbooks? Because Tyler and I both lost around 70-ish pounds each back in 2021. We started maybe the very end of 2020, and most of the fat loss came off during 2021. And it took most of 2021. People ask all the time, how long did it take? How long did it take? It took a good 8 to 12 months.
But
I can't be exact on that.
Be different.
Yes, that is true. Everybody's journey is very different. Very good.
In fact, I consider myself to still be on one.
To still be on a what, fat loss phase?
Just a journey in general. Because
a journey of becoming a better person.
Yeah.
In general, I think.
It morphs, it changes. Like, I've gone through different phases, and, right now I'm really enjoying the weightlifting side. I can't wait to get back to trying to bulk up more, but
right now both of us are actually in our own personal fat loss phase for various reasons. I am personally in a fat loss phase right now. I'm in a shred phase because I have fitness photos coming up in March. So I have a goal to lower my body fat percentage for the fitness photos, because I don't get them done, but I'll probably get them done every 2 years. Yeah. So if I'm going to use those for marketing materials, well, I need to look pretty good in them.
Yeah.
So I can't get in my fitness photos and look a little flabby. That's not a thing. So I am personally using all of the techniques that I teach and preach on myself. And our diet right now
is pretty boring.
It's pretty boring. Yeah. And that's okay.
That's what it is.
And tell them, have we gone out to eat?
No, in fact, you've rebuked me like I'm the devil. Yesterday, when it was like at 4:00, and I was out in the garage, like finishing like a little like arm workout or whatever, and like you met me like in the door frame, and you're like, I'm going to the store, like we don't have any food. I'm like, okay, let's go to Kava. I'm really hungry.
And I love Kava.
And you like basically punched me in the face with the look you gave me. It wasn't no, but it was F no. It's like, I've got goals. We're not going to Kava.
That's exactly it. I'm pretty sure those were the words I used. I have goals. I am not going to Kava.
Yeah. And so we did not go to Kava.
We went to the grocery store, all four of us, and got,
I don't remember what
just meat.
It was, I mean, honestly, it's it's lean meat, fruits and vegetables. I think that was it. Maybe you got some yogurt.
Yeah.
I got a gallon of milk for the kids.
Yeah.
And for me, I like drinking milk, but.
So yeah, pretty much. So our diet's kind of boring right now, but that happens sometimes when you're in a shred phase, and that's okay. And we know that home cooked is always going to be better. So home cooked should be default if you are in a fat loss phase.
It should be basically the default period, because you can control 100%. It doesn't matter what your dietary restriction is. When you go to a restaurant, you don't really know.
That is true. And it's not as if I'm saying no 100% to going out to eat. It's just no for now. I'm not saying that is, I'm going to restrict myself forever from going out. That's not my message I'm trying to give.
We're getting to the goal.
I'm just getting to a goal.
And we've already planned, because we're going to go to Mexico.
Oh,
in the spring after that, and we've already found a pizza place in Mexico. They're like, oh yeah, let's go get some freaking deep dish.
Right. So we are going to treat ourselves with some amazing pizza. So we have that on the horizon, and we know that's happening.
I can visualize.
But then it's going to be like a one day thing, or a few days thing, and then we're going to get back.
Yeah. I mean, we're going on vacation. We're going to enjoy vacation.
You got it.
But yeah.
So what else do I do? So I write low calorie cookbooks because we lost weight, and cooking low calorie was a big, huge driver of us losing the fat. I'm a certified nutrition coach. if you did not know that. And I started group coaching, and then my group coaching turned into one-on-one coaching. And most of the women I serve are over 40. I serve women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Do I serve women below 40? Yes, I do. It's just not the majority of women that I serve. I am great at understanding the woman's body in their 40s because I am 49 years old.
You've done it for 9 years.
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it for been there for 9 years. Yeah. So I'm kind of a little expert in that. I'm an expert, I guess, in the perimenopausal symptoms. People are always asking me, are you in perimenopause? Yes, I am in perimenopause. Yes, I have all the symptoms. Yes, I have lack of sleep. Yes, I have bloat. Yes, I have all the same symptoms that joint pain, frozen shoulder.
All the things you complain about, I guarantee she complains about.
Yes, it's true.
It's
but
normal.
There are ways to manage your body composition still, even though you're going through that phase of life. Mm-hmm. It is totally manageable. If you are interested in group coaching, one-on-one coaching, low-calorie cookbooks, anything, even if you want to just go calculate your calorie deficit for free, you can find all the things and calculate your calorie deficit at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. So that is thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. And I have a tab that's called Getting Started. So if you click on Getting Started, that's where you're going to find that free calorie deficit calculator. You're going to find a free protein calculator and free resources to help you get started. So I want to end this podcast with the idea that the 4 M's of fitness, FormFit, the name of my company, it was born out of me being sick of all the things that you've tried. It was born out of me being tired of restrictive diets because I did it. Restrictive diets, check, did that. Endless cardio, check, did that. Starting over every single January with even more weight, double check, did that. And it was one day that it just kind of hit me that true lasting transformation was not just about diet and exercise, diet and exercise, diet and exercise. Real lasting change has to start in your mind. I had to stop seeing myself as a failure, and I had to start seeing myself as somebody that was willing to learn. I had to let go of the idea of perfection, and I had to embrace the idea that progress was enough. And it was that shift that changed everything for me. It changed my life, and I'm certain that it can change yours too. But we have to start with more than just diet and exercise. We have to start with that first M in FormFit, mind shift. And yes, of course, meal shift, the diet is part of it. And of course, the exercise muscle building is part of it. But then there's this other third M in there that people seem to not pay a whole lot of attention to. It's called micro habits. Boy, that makes a huge difference. The little habits that tend to add up over time. So it was the holistic approach that finally did it, that allowed both my husband and myself to make changes that were real, lasting changes. And that's what our podcast is about. It's about real, lasting change through the 4 M's of fitness. Mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building. So I hope you continue to give us a listen, and we are happy to be back. I'm happy if you jumped back into listening with us. I'm happy you're here. So if you're looking to level up your mind, your body, your entire life, transform yourself, is your go-to podcast. So hopefully we'll see you next time.
Adios.